Ben Carollo. If you want to cover the TYT shit, Ben Carollo posted it. This is what I mean. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Dude, I am so... A lot of people are like, oh, well, Jank's your uncle, so you, like, still work at the Young Turks or something. Like, bitch, I've been on my own since 2020. It's been 3 fucking years. I have zero idea on anything that goes on in those, inside of those facilities. I don't know who the fuck Ben Carollo is. It seems like this is a person who already worked there and is now leaving. Like, I don't know why people are just like, dude, you have to address your uncle's crimes. It's like, motherfucker, everybody has an uncle that they don't agree with. You know what I mean? I'm not the first, and I will not be the last. You know what I mean? She left because of the transphobia. Literally, no one in this chat is saying that. They're asking you to cover the news. Yeah, we're going to do that. But it's so funny because, like, anytime they get into some shit, they yell at me. Like, everybody's always like, bro, Hasan, address this. I'm like, okay, sure. You left TYT in January 2020. That was 3 years ago and 6 months ago. Yeah, 3.5 years it's been, man. Been 3.5 motherfucking years since I left TYT. Okay, I don't know. Like, I can't fix it. Okay. Anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Okay, but I read somewhere the TYT took VC funding. Yes, they did. That was when I was there, actually, which I had no say over, obviously. But ultimately, it doesn't even matter. Okay, let me just fucking... God damn it. Let me just blast off real quick. I haven't even done that yet. Hold up. While it was... Get in now. www dot. Cocaine at the White House. Sure hope no politics drama happened. Rounding. Family. While I was out drinking yesterday, get in now. Here you go. Both you and Anna were my favorites on TYT when you were there, and while I don't expect you to know what's going on, I do value any commentary you may have. I'm just really disappointed, you know? Yeah, I don't know. It seems like all the empathy and sense followed you out the door when you left TYT. I think that transphobia is insidious in the way that it starts taking over your mentality and your life. And I think that's what is going on probably. I'm not fully aware of what is happening, but the reality is this, right? It's gonna be, my commentary on this issue is gonna be probably identical to what I've said so far. That's part of the reason why I'm always like, ugh, we gotta talk about this again. Here, I blasted off, by the way. Let the people know. Let your friends know. Let your family know. We're live and we're live. Here you go. The thing is, transphobes have trans on the mind more than trans people. Yeah. It's like, it's a situation where you can have like any kind of valid gripe, right? Or like any kind of minor criticism. But in many circumstances, allyship means you're not going to fucking like take a minute issue that's not even really an issue at all and like put it on the fucking forefront. Because the people that do that are people who want to constantly weaponize any kind of like cringe, for example, a marginalized community member might be behaving as. Okay? I've talked about this a lot, where it's like cringe is not illegal, and if someone is being cringe, for example, if someone from a minority group is being cringe, for example, that doesn't mean that like this is representative of everything. It's not politics. You're just like looking at every and any kind of reason you can to get upset at people. I don't even know what Anna said or did. I've only seen like some memes like this. You got to get your leftist card revoked. What the hell? The civil rights movement did not use the same strategies as the trans movement. They didn't barricade speakers when they disagreed in a classroom for 3 hours. They persuaded through nonviolence and showing America their humanity. It's kind of funny because like this take is not all that different than what they have said in the past. If you like really listen to what TYT says all the time, like it's the classic like, well, you know, MLK was nonviolent, whereas Malcolm X was like not the best. Even though Cenk does concede and say that Cenk does concede, which by the way is ahistorical, but Cenk does concede and say that there's two sides to this coin, and that you know, without Malcolm X, MLK doesn't work on his own. You know what I mean? So he does recognize that. It is pretty funny. I don't know who the fuck got barricaded for 3 hours. I don't even know what this is. But the irony is that like, yeah, all kinds of political movements that have worked against hierarchical constructs are always going to be considered violent because they're uprooting the pre-established norms, the pre-established rules of society. So ultimately, it doesn't matter, even if it's like literally baby politics. In the same way that shitting on trans people and the violence that comes along with that, or the normalization of the violence that comes along with that, is not seen as violent because it is the pre-existing construct. You can go out and dehumanize trans people. You can go out and like misgender trans people, and there's going to be debate around whether or not that is even hate speech to begin with. That in and of itself is a clear and obvious indication that as long as you are on board with the pre-existing hierarchical standards, then you're never going to be seen as quote unquote violent, right? So this is ahistorical, especially from that perspective, because the civil rights movement, regardless of all of the non-violent components, all of the peaceful, non-violent forms of resistance, was overall at the time, and still even to this day, seen as a violent movement. The only reason why people don't consider it a quote full-blown violent movement now is because we live in the post-civil rights movement world where some of those civil liberties that were gained, which are being shred to bits every single fucking day, are taken for granted. Like, you can't go back and be like, MLK was a bad guy, because we live in the post-MLK world. Whereas at the time, holy shit, people certainly were not fond of Martin Luther King. They I think, what was it? Like, at the time of his assassination, he had a 25% approval rating. 66% of Americans disagreed with Martin Luther King. So it's actually insane that this is the hill she's dying on. This is what listening to Jesse Signal does to your brain. She literally admitted to subscribing to his Substack and podcast. Oh, no. Always amazing to me to see Anna and Cenk keep seeing a song getting more and more popular. Instead of thinking, hey, maybe we got to shift a bit more to the left, perhaps be a little bit more loose and casual, they go to opposite of what if we were Tim Pool? I think one of those situations, one of the weirdest parts about like Twitter spats like this, if you are truly someone who doesn't want to highlight and promote more transphobia is just eating shit sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta eat shit. You know what I mean? I do it all the fucking time. I don't know why other content creators don't recognize that, like, we come from a profoundly privileged perspective. So, you know, there's no reason to ever, if you are truly a person who cares about these sorts of things, there's literally no reason to fucking constantly fight over this stuff. I get into it regularly as well. I get into spats regularly as well. But the only difference is that, like, when I get into spats, it's usually on like marginal things that people still have a tendency to turn into like gigantic issues on Twitter. You said this during the last TYT drama, they refused to take the L. Yeah. A lot of what I'm saying is the exact same as the last TYT drama. Like, there's still a gigantic subsect of Twitter that thinks I'm transphobic. You know what I mean? It's laughable. And it ultimately doesn't matter. But, you know, there are people who are like, oh, Hasan is fucking, he never listens. Like, he never listens to allies. He's like transphobic. He's racist, you know? Who cares? Just do your thing. Getting shit on and taking it is absolutely just a part of being online. And Gen Xers who are on Twitter straight up don't understand that. Yeah, people I think like, well, we've put a lot of time and effort. Here's a Pulitzer Prize winning picture of the black students who, amid disputes with the administration, took over Willard Straight Hall at Cornell in 1969. The sanitized and child-friendly version of history makes liberals into reactionaries. The very plain reality of the civil rights movement was that it was constantly accused of the exact same excesses of modern movements, but the modern trans right effort is significantly less militant, not more. Yeah, 100%. Fuck your bitch ass America, come to Turkey. American pupper, fucking burn that idiot hat. Hasan is a soy boy, I say as a Turk. Is this it? Terrified swimming champion Riley gains his ambush by screaming trans activists and hit twice by a guy in a dress after saving women's sports speech at San Fran State University. And cops say there were no arrests. Daily Mail. Is this it? Is this what Anna is talking about? Also, what champion, bro? She's the champion of sucking ass, okay? I like that. Dude, it's so transparent. Like, all you need to fucking say is trans people suck. And they're not real. And, like, there is a built-in audience that will go, oh my God, you're so brave. You're so goated. Oh, King, please. You are a champion. You're a champion in my heart. These fucking participation trophy-ass motherfuckers, dude. I swear to God. Yeah, she's the champion of losing and then turning it into just a transphobic grift. Lance Armstrong doing transphobic shit. Like, anyone and everyone that has any kind of... I know my background music is still playing. All right, here, I'll shut it off. Anyone and everyone that ever has, like, a fall from grace or anything will just hit the transphobia ripcord, and they're like, oh, thank God. This is what she's freaking out about, not what you're looking at. This, why Bonus Hole is going viral on Twitter and what that means? I don't think so. Much like the Hasan hate ripcord. I mean, the Hasan hate ripcord in some respects. The Hasan hate ripcord in some respects does literally also go side by side. Wait, what? Yes, it is Hasan Jesus Christ. Wait, what? I don't make things up, but my point is that this stuff turns people off. It's not really controversial. The bonus hole? What are you guys... What is happening here? What? No way. She's not saying pussy too. That's the reason why we're mad. There's a new hole? Is it pussy too? What's happening? Was Obama right? Watch the clip here. Okay, here.
I think that protecting, marginalized communities,
pussy too literally is. I just realized. Pussy too is trans pussy. That's it. Trans woman pussy is pussy too. AKA the bonus hole, dude. What the fuck? Yo, Obama was right.
Protecting the transgender community is important. However, when you move out of or move far away from making sure that they are not denied housing, making sure that they're not denied healthcare, when you move into like these more fringe areas of there was a story out of the UK this week, blows my mind. There was an LGBTQ group in the UK who suggested that instead of referring to vaginas as vaginas because it might be offensive to transgender men,
yeah, this kind of stuff I hate so much. Again, it's always like marginal shit. Like, who cares? Fucking cares. And then you look into the story and it's always, bro, this is literally the Gamergate neck-bearded weirdos that used to cultivate a movement around like shitting on the Young Turks and all manner of progressive politics online in the 2014, 2015, 2015 era of online politics. You read a one-sided article that looks at like some extremely fringe shit, and then you represent it as though this is like a community-backed movement, okay? And like and then you get mad about it. It's like, instead of going, yeah, who cares about this? It's some random fringe shit. Shut the fuck up, please. And then move on and talk about the actual issue at hand, which is anti-trans legislation being passed at the state legislature level that is genuinely harmful, which I know Anna would probably consider as well. It's like getting annoyed at a singular trans person or getting annoyed at like one random fucking fringe group being like, we can't call it a vagina, we need to call it something else, is just so, it's silly. It's just unproductive. It's counterproductive if you are interested in defending trans rights. And look no further than the likes of Ben Shapiro, who regularly do turn this into legitimate discourse, right? I mean, look at it this way. Are we really going to act like trans people are not genuinely consistently under attack by the right-wing media apparatus when like Anheuser-Busch made one fucking beer can with Dylan Mulvaney's face on it, and now you still... still haven't shut the fuck up about it. Like, the Republicans still haven't shut the fuck up about it. Like, they saw Dylan. One of these sick perverts, who almost always is a chaser, by the way, literally was like refreshing Dylan Mulvaney's like Instagram page to be like, oh my God, she posted a photo. And then they found out that Bud Light had done like one SpawnCon on her fucking profile, and they turned it into like a matter of national news. I don't want to talk about this shit. Okay? I don't think it's important. I think it's very fucking stupid. And I think that whenever there are certainly cringe trans people too. I mean, cringe is not unique to any kind of subsect of society, and trans people or activists can sometimes be very fucking cringe. They can be empathetic, but then simultaneously be incredibly fucking cringe. Like, turning that into a matter of national news instead of just going, fuck that, who gives a shit, move on. Well, then you're participating, whether willingly or unwillingly, in just justifying a space for more transphobia to exist. You know what I mean? So what happened? Let's see what happened with the situation that she's talking about.
Might be offensive to transgender men. One of the potential replacements or substitutes could be bonus hole.
That is literal fucking bonus propaganda. Hole? This is the same shit.
Wait, bonus hole? Wait, it is actually bonus hole. Why bonus hole is going viral on Twitter and what the term means. First of all, is it going viral on Twitter? Gives a fuck? What, you know what else goes viral on Twitter? The most unhinged Nazi propaganda. Okay? Who cares? After spending a little time on social media, you have to be wondering what is a bonus hole and why the term is all over your Twitter feed. Whose Twitter feed is this all over? It's not all over my Twitter feed. What the fuck? In 2020, Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust, in partnership with the LGBT Foundation, LGBTQ plus charitable organization, began suggesting the term bonus hole be used as a way to support trans men and non-binary people. According to their glossary, a bonus hole is an alternative word for the vagina, and recommend checking. What? Whenever someone like Yahoo says it's going viral, it's absolutely not. Yeah, dude, if this shit was going viral, the Washington Post would be covering it, which, by the way, they probably will now. Bro, this is literally like trans girls calling their gawk the princess wand. Guys, find out about the new viral phenomena, the gawk, the girl cock. This community of memers have decided to call their girl penises gawks, and it's going viral. And what we need to do now is arrest every trans person. It's like, I just asked my trans friends who were chronically on Twitter, and none of them have heard of it. Lamau. Yeah, I'm chronically online. I haven't heard of this either. According to their glossary, a bonus hole is an alternative for the word vagina, and recommend checking to see which words someone prefer to use. So, like, how is this news is the real question you got to ask yourself. Because here's what I mean. Okay? Here's what I mean. Do I think this is like something that is very important for the movement, you know? Fuck no. Okay? I don't. No one is going to be like, wow, you're not a real ally, Hasan, because you're not considering bonus hole. Like, this is some silly ass bullshit. If you are cis and heard of this, 99% chance you are falling down the Glinner rabbit hole. This is why I hate covering these kinds of idiotic fucking stories, because ultimately, I need to learn about bonus hole. And I don't want to ever learn about bonus hole. It's like, this isn't even Twitter shit. They're saying it's Twitter. It's worse than Twitter shit. You want to know why? They're faking and acting like it's Twitter shit when it's not even shit on Twitter. This is so stupid. On their website, Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust, using the correct language when you're talking about someone's gender identity is a simple and effective way to demonstrate support and recognition. It goes on to say that patients may seek care elsewhere if they feel hurt or distressed when a term is used that doesn't align with their gender identity. But bonus hole went viral today after conservatives like Leo Kearse and Oil London tweeted about it. Oh, that's why. Kearse is a right-wing UK-based comedian, and London is a British media personality who's most well known for writing a book about his experience detransitioning and the issue of supposed trans ideology. Basically, he's a TERF. I like that Yahoo News, boomer-ass fucking Yahoo News, is more progressive than the Associated Press, who's like, we can't use TERFs anymore. Sky News Australia covered this before you. UK charity group suggests bonus hole as a more inclusive term for vagina. 3 days ago, 9,000 views, bro. This shit didn't even hit like the transphobia sphere. That's the point, because it's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. It's so dumb. And now it's like more. Now it's more relevant because Anna took the fucking bait on some random shit from some random fucking website that was like, oh, maybe we can call, non-binary pussies bonus holes or something. And then all of a sudden now it's like an issue that everybody needs to fucking discuss. Why? The world is a massive place. There are always things that are happening that are idiotic. Okay? Things that are happening that are silly, things that are happening that are stupid. Oftentimes, you have to make that assessment. You have to look at it and go, how many people are actually using this? How many people are actually using this terminology? Are they using it just on their own? in their own circles, or are they actually saying other people need to use this as well? Okay? And if it doesn't hit those metrics at all, if it doesn't hit any of those markers, then why the fuck is this existing in your mind? Like, you know, remember formative memories and don't fucking put bonus hole in your mind, okay? It's so stupid. Now, this reminds me of how trans memers started using transing as a joke and then conservatives now use it seriously. Yeah, Anna, Joe Rogan, and Bill Maher fall for every fucking chain email story, I swear. Yeah, it's just so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. It's so dumb. It is such a dumb thing to be upset about. And the only reason why I believe you get this kind of shit on your feed, and the only reason why you would take this seriously, is if that kind of transphobic sentiment is starting to take root in your mind. Okay? Like, I have disagreements with extremely online activists all the fucking time. That's part of the reason why there is a gigantic group of people on Twitter, regardless of what their political background is, that says stuff like, I hate Hasan, I want to go to his house and fucking murder Hasan. And then I'll look at their profile, and they're like a neurodivergent minor trans person. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck happened? Like, what do you mean? You want to come to my... It's almost always Germa fans, too. They fucking hate me for some reason. I don't know why. Even though I love Germa. And most of it is because they see shit clipped out of context and they fucking lose their mind over it, or it's like petty squabbles and minor disagreements that they hyper fixate on. Who gives a fuck? Okay? Ultimately, stay the course. If you truly do care about advancing, if you truly do care about advancing trans causes, or just ensuring that trans people are not getting absolutely eviscerated in out of public life, then don't talk about bonus hole, please. This is just bait created to make like some random fucking transphobic British person Substack pop off. Okay? It's so dumb. Bonus hole. I love that. God, what's next? I just don't get it. I don't understand why this is in any way, shape, or form supposed to be a fucking news story. Anyway, let's get
shit. That's when Joe Rogan went out there and said, "Look, a guy I know, his wife works at a school where they let the kids just shit in litter boxes because they identify as cats." That's bullshit.
Honest question. What do you think the impact of comments like yours? Do you think this group you referred to, assuming they're real, are now going to stop? The reason why the right turns these anecdotes into national stories is to specifically demonize the entire movement. Assuming they are real, I just linked to it. The right turns these anecdotes to national stories because they know it will turn people off. My argument is a little bit more strategic and tactful to secure healthcare and housing for the trans community. That's my point. Well said, Anna. Come on. Like, I get... Here's the thing. Okay? Every time I see stuff like this, I'm reminded at the top of the hour